seat, baby. Bring your tablet up for me. Hello.
Hey guys, how y'all doing? We'll just give you guys a moment to come on. Watch video. Nope, don't want to put it on the TV.
Just a moment.
We're coming up and
we really should have all this set up before we get started. But somebody was on the phone forever.
I was fine. I got mine ready.
Okay. Okay. So good evening. My name is Rhonda Dove, and this is my handsome husband.
And I'm Andrew Dove.
And if you have not seen the title yet, it is Healing from
The Trauma of Infidelity.
Yes.
And I know some people, and I was thinking about this today, that some people, they can't overcome the trauma of an infidelity in their marriages and their relationships. It's either, if my spouse and my partner, they commit infidelity, then I'm writing them off just right. I'm done. And some people they like that, and I know some relationships can be salvaged. Some can. But I'm here to say, like my wife and I, my philosophy is if we survived it, that others can survive it.
I mean, it's not always the easiest thing to survive, but it is survivable.
It is, and here's the thing: when it comes to surviving the trauma of an infidelity, that you really got to have the condition of your heart right to be able to do it. And my wife and I had a conversation that was almost an hour long yesterday, talking about this very topic. About you want to jump in right here about how the topic came up yesterday?
I don't really know how the topic came up. I think it was after I was apologizing. It was really based on Sunday. And we had the grandkids over after church on Sunday. And it was a couple of hours before they came over. We was walking around the house and we were cleaning. And I was feeling some type of way. And I couldn't really put my finger on why I was feeling some type of way. And as I kept walking back and forth through the house, and he kept asking
Can you pull that up
what was wrong, I would love to, but I don't know what happened to my tablet. I don't have Instagram on here now for whatever reason. And you interrupted me when I was talking, so I forgot.
We'll go. Keep talking. I'll see if I can find it.
As I was saying, we was going by our daily chores, which we don't normally clean up on Sundays. Sundays is usually the day where we just give ourselves a real relaxation day. And usually on Sundays, we go for an afternoon ride, like older people they like to do. And we would be one of those older people that likes to take that afternoon ride. So what we ended up doing was staying around the house and cleaning and waiting for our youngest daughter to drop our grandbabies off. And as we were going through the house cleaning, and I was just like, I just really wanted to have some alone time with them. And see, this is where this subject came up, because at this point I realized that I still had walls up. And
mind you, listen, her walls, I'm thinking that these walls did not exist, because we've been married for 32 years now and been together longer than that, because we've been high school sweethearts, and we survived my infidelity. But I'm thinking that none of these walls exist. Go.
So as we were walking back and forth through the house, and I'm realizing that what is wrong with me? We still here for right now alone, and I was craving attention, but I didn't want to put myself out there as the one who wanted the attention. I wanted him to show me that he wanted me. And anybody who watches on a regular basis, I'm always saying, you nasty. And now I'm realizing that it's not so much as me really feeling like he's nasty or whatever. It's just that feeling of not being normal that he made me feel when we were apart, or that feeling where when we were not together and we got into a argument and he told me that the only thing that anybody would want from me is my body, because that's all they're going to see is my big behind, and that's what they were going to want. And I think that those words played such a major part in the way I look at our relationship now. Because I think that at the time when he said that, I internalized it as to where if that's all he sees that somebody else would want from me, that's all he wants from me too. Even though I felt like I had forgiven him, and I still feel like I forgave him, but I also feel like I've held on to a lot of that. That past hurt in those words. Because when they say that once you say something, you can't take it back. Once it hits the person's ears, it's there. They've heard it, and whatever damage it's going to do is going to do. The words cut like a knife.
Right.
And I think that made a wound in me that I'm just not realizing that I'm still dealing with.
But did the wound come from that, or did the wound come from my actual infidelity?
It came from a combination of both.
Because, hey, Tanetta, how are you? We miss you too. Miss y'all too. But I'm just saying, because when we were talking, you were expressing to me, you realized yesterday during our conversation that you were still carrying, like you trust me, but you said I'm still putting walls up because I don't want to be hurt again. It's
not walls that I'm still putting up. It's walls that were put up then. That it's like some of the wall is that the wall is not a high wall, but it's just enough wall for me to be able to still get behind and stay in a safe place. And this is what I realized yesterday when I was Sunday, when I was walking around and I was so angry because I was like, I really need his attention. I really need him. And I refused to allow myself to be vulnerable, to be like, I need you. And then you be like, no, I'm busy. I'm doing something. I'm waiting for the kids to come. I refuse to allow that desire to build in me, but only to a point to where I got angry, if that makes any sense. Because I felt like I still need to protect myself on some level.
And see, with me, I'm thinking that all this stuff has been squashed for years, and not knowing that she's put up safeguards so that I don't hurt her again.
But like I said, I didn't even know until yesterday when I realized that because remember I was back there cleaning my beauty room, and I was like, okay, what is going on? Why are you why are you doing this? Why are you doing this? He's right there. He's sitting up there on the sofa by himself. He keeps asking what's wrong. What's wrong?
And do your best to have conversations with your spouse or your partner, girlfriend, boyfriend, whoever. I kept asking constantly, what is wrong? Talk to me, what's going on? And she would say that she was okay, that I'm fine. In all actuality, she was walking around mad as hell.
I was upset because I again, I wanted him to pay me attention. I wanted him to want me. And I wanted to be nasty. That's what it came down to. But I was not, for whatever reason, I was not the one that was finna put myself out there. Because when he do it, that part of that thing where I'm always saying, "Ooh, you nasty, you nasty, you nasty," I'm realizing that that's part of my barrier that I have. Whereas to, okay, it's okay for you to be like that and seem like you're begging because you're the one who did this. So it's okay for me to reject you in my head. This is what I realized on Sunday. It's different when I tell you, no, you need to stop being so nasty, than for you to be like, ooh, come on, girl, or whatever. Or either you do that, come on, let's get it, which you always gonna say, let's get it. But rather than you to be like, well, the boys will be here in a few minutes. And then I get really upset because I'm just like, well, why did you say the boys could come if, you know, we ain't had no alone time together where we could get it in?
And see, my thing is, if kids, We did it in the house with the kids in here. I can do it with you in the house with my grandkids here.
We are
I don't care.
empty nesters, and
So-
I when our kids were
Listen,
younger,
I'm sure
I was
my
used to-
grandparents did it in the house when I was in it.
Okay, so I'm gonna. I've gotten used to being able to release.
Okay, release.
You don't release like that when kids are in the house.
We did when the kids were growing up. Remember? It wasn't that long ago.
Okay, so real talk, y'all. When it comes down to it, and I'm trying to express my feelings, and I'm trying to talk to this man, real talk, this is what he does. I don't understand it sometimes. I know that he loves me, and he's trying to listen. But at the same time, you're listening, and you're not listening. And this is something that I tell you all the time. So when I'm trying to talk to you about something, I'm saying, oh, he did this. I ain't talking about what happened then, because you have to realize this was before your infidelities. And even after some of your infidelities, we were in our 20s and 30s. I am 52 years old. I do not need my grandchildren walking around and saying, ew, mama and papa are never being nasty. Even in the middle of the night. Whatever. It's not funny. It's funny to you, but I mean, the older that I get, it's like, no, I ain't finna do it in no car no more. Yes, we did it in the car, we did it in the park, anywhere we could get to each other. We was getting at it. But I am at a certain age now, and we've been through so much in our relationship, I don't have the freedoms. And that's another thing. When you go through something like that, you don't even feel like you have the same freedoms to freely love the way you once loved. And that's what I was trying to explain to you when I was trying to talk to you yesterday. The freedoms that I once felt to be able to give my everything to you, I realized yesterday I don't feel like that. I feel like I am putting up a wall and limiting the amount of love that I can, or the amount of emotions that I can show. I love you. You know I love you with everything that is in me. But is there a wall there? On Sunday, I realized that I still have some kind of barrier that 30 years later, yes, I still have something there that I need to let drop, that needs to go away in order for me to give you all of me the way you deserve it. Because I know that you give all of you to me. I can tell, I can feel it. But when I have those moments and those outbursts of anger, and those moments and those outbursts of leave me alone, don't touch me, no, I don't want to kiss, no, don't do this, no, don't do that, stop, you nasty. If you was doing the same thing to me, that would hurt me. That would hurt me. It would cut me deeply. I already know that.
But I told you that. I told you with you doing
and
that.
You did.
It hurts. It's devastating to me because I feel rejected.
And this is the reason why you need to know, and I needed to realize why I keep doing that, so that I don't do that to you anymore. What are you reading? There's nothing there.
I was just trying to see if something popped up.
So I mean, in order to be able to move past and heal from infidelities, you have to be willing to forgive. You have to be willing to let things go, which I forgave.
Does it hurt? Yes, it hurts. And you know, sorry for cutting you off, but you know, I think, you know, you said number one, you have to forgive. So many people, they can't get past the forgiving part because of the broken heart, and they struggle with that because, you know, just say with us, not just other people, just us. You know, it took a very long time for you to honestly forgive me.
It took for us notably to know that I forgave you was about 5 years. Yes.
But so much more than forgiveness has got to happen. The forgiveness is the first part, but then you got to come to the realization from the forgiveness that, you know, you still have to deal with hurt feelings, hurt hearts.
I don't even know if forgiveness is the first part, because if you can't get past some of those hurts, you can't ever reach the point where you can forgive, because once on a daily basis, as you're trying to work through the issue that you had, you're going to be dealing with those hurts. And this, as those hurts are healing, that forgiveness comes. So all these years, I've always said that I've forgiven you completely. And I believe that I have forgiven you completely. I believe with everything in me that I've forgiven you completely.
We still
but
there.
There is still some kind of hurt there. And it's not, because I can talk about, like, I used to cry to try to talk about everything that we went through. Mm-hmm. But it doesn't hurt like that. Okay, so I know for a fact, as long as you got God in your life, as long as you're seeking after God's heart, I'm not worried about you cheating on me or anything anymore, because everything happened before you came to know Christ. So once you came to know Christ, your relationship with Christ is more important, and it has to be more important than your relationship with me, because I can't save you.
I know.
I'm not your savior. So knowing that you have that relationship with God makes it easier for me to be able to have a relationship with you. Mm. The wall that I have is still, it's not a huge wall, but it is a wall that's standing somewhere in between those intimate moments where I feel like it could be so much more. And I saw this on Sunday from the anger that I felt when all I had to do is come up to you and kiss you, put my arms around you or whatever, and we could have got it in before the boys came. And it wasn't just so much about getting it in, it was more of that moment when
just having intimacy.
You feel me, I'm feeling you, and you know us, that passion that we have, to be able to just let it all go. And it wouldn't have took nothing but me just coming to you and expressing a little interest, rather than me walking around, okay, well, we got to clean the house, and we got to clean this, and we got to do this, and let's do the laundry, right. Let's mop the floor, let's wipe down the walls, wipe down doorknobs, let's disinfect. And if I hadn't been so hell-bent on doing all of that, and then walking past you, looking at you like you stank every single time, then the moment could have came. But because I felt like, well, if he really wanted me, then he'll say something. He'll do something.
But I did
He'll
say
make
something.
the first move. He'll make the first move. The only thing that you kept saying was, are you okay? Are you okay? Why are you looking like that? What's wrong? Are you sure you're okay? Okay, well, I'll wash the clothes. Okay, well,
I didn't say okay. I just started doing it.
Well, but the thing is that you started doing busy stuff too, because you thought that was what was going to appease me. And because I wouldn't say anything, because that wall has got to come completely down. And the only way I can do that is to just work on it.
Yeah. And see, Sunday, a lot of people, they think that just showing intimacy with one another is always sexual. And I'm touchy-feely. I love intimacy. I love the fact that, if my wife will come and just put her feet in my lap, put her head in my lap, or let me put my head in her lap, or she rubbed my back or my chest or my head. To me, I love those moments. Now, Sunday, she was saying that she wanted to see if I was going to make the first move. But sometimes the first move,
see if you was gonna make the first move, is that's what I needed you to do on Sunday.
Sometimes the first move is communicating, is talking, expressing your feelings, and she didn't do that after multiple tries of me asking her. So she passed by me one time and just plopped down in my lap. And just sat there like a bump on a log. And I said, you see how you just sitting there in my lap? There's no purpose behind the way you sitting in my lap.
I was trying, but I was angry. I didn't have a reason to be. I was just like.
But if you're saying that, I'm craving intimacy, you don't just walk up and just go like this. And look around like, okay, yeah, I'm sitting in your lap, now what? And see, but if I sit in your lap, which I'll break your legs if I do, I'm going to sit in, I'm going to try to kiss you on your neck. I'm going to try to stroke your back. I don't play in your hair, but I'm going to show that I'm interested, that I'm looking for intimacy from you. You know, and it's not that I'm just trying to, and I explained this to you, it's not the fact that I'm just trying to be nasty. It's the fact that I'm craving that attention from you.
You need to come up with some more.
I told you that it's going to be too close.
So.
What?
When I came and just popped down in your lap.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I'm telling you that I was dealing with a wall that was not letting me pass it. It was up. It was anger. It was fear. I don't know why. I'm trying to express this to you. You're still not getting it.
I am getting it. Listen, I know the trauma from an infidelity that trauma runs deep. You know, do we have a good marriage? Yes, we do. Do we love each other? Yes, we do. Are we committed for our marriage to work? Yes, we have, and yes, we do.
Do you listen? No, you don't. Do you listen? No,
yes,
you
I
don't.
do.
Does he listen? No.
Yes, I do.
You don't.
Yes, I do. I do. I do listen. You know, that's the purpose of us talking and expressing our feelings, so that we can always keep everything aired out. There's no undercurrents ever. And whether you think I listen or not, you know, I do listen. And I know that the trauma of what I did,
I mean, that's done. That is forgiven. That is over.
but the trauma of it is still there.
The thing is that, again, there is that thing that sits in the back of your mind, and it's be like, all anybody gonna want you for is your booty.
But see, you didn't tell me that yesterday when we talked.
I couldn't tell you everything yesterday because some of the stuff just be coming back, but it was as I was thinking about it, and I was thinking that when the wall is up, there's reasons for it. Okay, you cheated, yes, you did that, but that actual action was something that was played out, I guess. I don't know. It was played out, it was gotten through, but the words that came, you said a lot of really mean, hurtful things, and I know that, and I probably said some stuff, but I've also heard how some other females talk to their spouse, and how they talk down to them. That's something I've never done to you. I have never told you ever the only reason somebody will want you is, or you ain't nothing, you ain't gonna be nothing, you suck as a husband. I always thought that up until that moment when you decided that you had to step outside of our marriage, I always thought that you were a good husband. I thought that you were a good father. You were a great provider. This is the way I felt about you. I didn't have anything negative to say about you, therefore I didn't say anything. Were you a drunk? Yes. That wouldn't have been a lie. The truth was the truth. You were a drunk. But I didn't even call you a drunk until you called yourself one. I said he likes to drink a lot. He can drink and drive and go to work and be okay, and he's still good. But the thing is that I did not do anything to mentally break you down. And I know some people that little saying right there, all they're going to want you for is whatever, that probably wouldn't break nobody else down. But then when we get back together, and even when we were separated and we snuck and got us a little bit here and there because you were still my husband and I could. And it was easy to do it because you were still my husband and I knew that you still had feelings for me and whatever. But at the same time, it's just that it still was that. Even when we snuck and did it, that's what I thought. At the end, I was like, why you do that? I felt stupid. Even after we had those little rendezvous, I felt like I was being used. But nobody cared about how I felt.
I can see that. You know, when we're talking about this, you know, you can't ever apologize enough from the things the trauma that you cause in your relationships. You can never say that you're sorry enough. No, but and here's the thing: when those traumas happen and you're trying to get over them, because I don't know if yesterday you asked me, do I remember saying this? Do I remember saying this? Do I remember? And I kept saying, no, I don't remember saying anything. I don't. I honestly don't. I don't remember what I told you when I don't. But when you're dealing with these things, you have two roads that you can take. You can have a road that will deter you and just flatline your relationship, or you'll have another road that you can say, okay, we're gonna move towards reconciliation, and we're gonna try to make this work. And like my wife said, she didn't realize this was some of the reasons why she had put not a big wall, but a wall that was a hindrance to her for you to be intimate with me, not show intimacy. And it just reared its head on Sunday. You couldn't figure out why you was mad until you figured out why you were mad.
Yeah, and I was thinking about that, and I'm like, I wonder, is that like part of a lot of the reasons why I have those bursts of anger, those bursts of where I feel hurt, or it's something that I'm still trying to work through. Or am I trying to work through? I'm just like, okay, it was just a moment. I was upset. I was angry about whatever. And then I just, okay, it's over with. I'm going to just get past it and just move on to the next.
Bless you.
Thank you. And move on to the next thing.
But a lot of people feel that way. They're like, okay, I just get over it. We'll just move on to the next thing. And what it is, you're still leaving that wound open. Because guess what? Eventually, a wound will get infected, and it's going to come back uglier and nastier the next time. So if you don't deal with these things, you know, even if that's why it's good to revisit things from time to time, you know, especially because the conversation came out of the blue with us yesterday. I mean, it came out of nowhere. We were talking.
It was honestly because of okay, so Sunday evening after the boys was picked up and we was winding down and we was getting ready to go to bed, we took our baths and everything, and then we got in the bed, and I'm just like, I know this ain't happening. I'm just like, it's been over a week, man. We ain't done nothing in a week. And is he going to sleep again? So at this point, I was like, I don't care about that hugging and snuggling and stuff. I want some. So, bruh, I want some. And so it didn't take much to get you ready, but it was just like, okay, I want some, so wake up, get some. And then I had to apologize. Mm-hmm. And I wasn't apologizing because we had our moment. I was apologizing for walking around angry all day Sunday. Mm-hmm. And that was when I realized, I said, I'm so sorry. I said, there's something going on and I gotta fix it. I said, because I wanted you so bad and did not know how to approach you. Mm-hmm. And that's sad. We've been together for too long for me to feel like I cannot, if we anywhere, I can be like, hey, psst, let's go get something. And I should be okay with whether you say not now or
we were that couple.
Yeah, we was that nasty couple. But
we weren't nasty, man. Dang.
Okay, we were adventurous.
We were that
fun.
Couple. We would walk. We would have a house full of people and leave the room and come back
because
later.
It was fun.
Come back
but
later.
But the whole thing is that I need that back. I need to feel free enough to, no matter where we are, if I'm feeling it, let's go. to be able to tell you, okay, we need to go back to whatever hotel room, wherever we can, because I want something, I want it now. And it's not so much as I would do that, but I need to feel the freedom to be able to. Instead of worrying about, well, even if we somewhere, you be like, well, we can't do nothing. I can be okay with that. I don't know.
Got a couple of comments. Natasha, she said, number one, we nasty. And she said, I understand why. Look at how pretty you look with your spoiled self.
All right.
And then Natasha says, but why did you not tell him when you sat in his lap? You could have said that you were mad, but you love him, ?
For that, when I sat in his lap, before I sat in his lap, I got to tell you what led up to me sitting in his lap. I was in the back, and I was like, what is wrong with you? I was fussing at myself. I'm like, what is wrong with you? There's nobody here but me and him, I was fussing at myself. You just can go up there and just do something. Just do something to show him that you want some attention, that you want some affection. And I'm just fussing at myself, and I'm beating him, and I'm walking back and forth. If you've ever seen somebody just pacing back and forth in a straight line, going back and forth, just like fussing at this was what I was doing to myself on Sunday. Actually trying to make myself go show him that I love you. I want you. Please touch me. And then I said, okay, all right, I'm going to do this. And then I was like, just go sit in his lap and see what happens. And so I just walked up to the front, turned around, and literally plopped, just with my back to him, just plopped in his lap. Didn't look at him, did not touch him, just plopped in his lap. And I was thinking, okay, he need to do something. And in my head, I'm just sitting and I'm thinking, I'm in his lap. Okay, so he just need to do something. And so I sat there for a few minutes, and he's laughing. He's like, you so silly. And I'm just thinking to myself, And this is how I was sitting in his lap. I was just like, just sitting there. And then he was like, why don't you turn to the side or face me or something? I said, because I don't want to.
Exactly.
Because my anger was still there. And I'm still like, at this point, I'm just like, you crazy. I'm seriously, it's not funny. Because I was thinking, you crazy. He's trying, but you still acting like you got a stick stuck somewhere. And I was just like, okay, I ain't turning around. I ain't turning to the side. I'm finna go back and finish cleaning up.
And that's what she did.
And so I got up and I went back and finished cleaning up and stayed angry. And I don't know why. It's just like, he did do something. He asked me to turn. He asked me to face him. And you're like, well, you're just gonna just sit there? And I'm like, Until I was like, okay, I'm done. I'm out of here. Nothing happened. So, and it's not that nothing did not happen. It's I didn't allow anything to happen. I just got up and chose to stay angry. But y'all, us sharing moments like this, we are a couple just like anybody else.
Right.
We have issues that we have to work through. Things like this hurt me because
and they hurt me as well.
I don't like to be I don't like to be angry with him, but it happens all the time. I cannot deal with him being angry with me, and he don't hold on to anger. I could just start kissing on his face or whatever, or just being playful with him, and he tends to move past his angry moments if he does get angry. Cause I don't do anything to make him angry, but
yeah, right.
But he tends to be able to move past things and get back to that. This is my wife. I love her. I want to cuddle her. I want to kiss on her. I want to get me some. So that's
it. Might not even be getting some. It's the fact
I know. I just said the more is so that you want to love on me and you want to cuddle or whatever. You want to have those intimate moments on the regular basis.
Yeah.
And I do too. It's just that it feels like when I be thinking about it, it's get close but not too close. It's like keep a safe distance. I love you with everything in me, but it's like, and I didn't even know that I was doing. Again, I did not know that I was doing this until Sunday. Keeping a distance. I did not know. I am so sorry. I didn't know. I did not know that I was keeping that wedge in between us.
But I'm the cause of the wedge. And see that bothers that bothers me the most, because I can acknowledge that I'm the cause of the wedge, and it's not a big wedge. Don't get me wrong, guys. Listen, we do have a good marriage. What you see is what you get, and like my wife said, we have issues just like everybody else. And the reason why we're here sharing is that because we know other people are experiencing these things too. Because so many people approach us and they'll say, "Well, I know you guys been through this. Can you talk to us about this? And it happens a lot. And it's just the fact that we're willing to share these things with you. So if you are experiencing these things, that you can always have an outlet to go to, because the one thing that we always push is that you have got to communicate with your spouse. You've got to communicate. You got to talk. Open your mouth.
Whatever the conversation is,
regardless of how
hard they are,
and they can be very hard. Because yesterday, like I said, I don't know what we were talking about before the conversation went left and went to where my wife was feeling, because she said, "You're so quiet. Why are you so quiet?" I didn't know how to respond, because I knew that at that moment right there, my strong wife, the one who everybody's scared of and fears, was being very vulnerable at the time. And when she was that vulnerable with me, all I could do was I had to pause for a minute, because I did not want to say the wrong thing that would have messed her being vulnerable with me up, because we share a lot with each other. We share everything with each other. But at those moments between a husband and a wife, or a boyfriend and girl, whoever your partner is, in those moments right there, number one, you gotta listen.
You have to listen. Listen.
And then you got and then you gotta dissect what's being said. You gotta ingest it, and then you gotta work through it. And for my wife to come to me and say, I did not realize of these. I thought, it was just you just being nasty, and I didn't want you doing this, blah blah blah. But it was much deeper than that. And when we say just communicate, you can. And number one, y'all know my rule: you can never over communicate, ever. You gotta let your feelings out, especially when you realize your feelings about something. Don't be afraid to share them with your spouse or your partner. Be willing to talk to them and express how you're feeling. Because when she did, the only thing I could say was, I hear you, but I'm sorry for my part in it, because I was the culprit.
We both were.
I mean, we both were, but it started with me. And I always tell you that I'm forever sorry to create the trauma that I created in our marriage. And can couples get past these things? Yes, they can.
They can.
See, when people hear us talk like this, the first thing that comes to mind, there's trouble in paradise. No, there's not trouble in paradise. We're just being real, because we're not going anywhere.
No.
we're solid, and this is and our conversation yesterday, and then our brief conversation today, that just shows how much that it's not just love, but it's commitment.
Thank you. It's commitment. It is.
So you got to work through those things. Now we got a couple other questions.
Questions?
Yeah, Natasha has one. She said, do you ever completely forgive me and let go of your pain?
I feel like I have completely forgiven him. The part of the hurt, words, I don't know. It's like you remember things, and you do tend to. You don't forget anything that you've been through. I know a lot of people say, you forgive and you forget.
You don't.
You
forget.
forgive. How can you forget? It happened. And words. I know a lot of people say, be careful who you share your life moments with, because sometimes they'll throw it back up in your face as a weapon against you.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that when he said what he was saying that he was trying to use it as a weapon against me. I honestly think that when he said that to me, it was supposed to be a deterrent for me not to get with nobody, because all they want you for is your body. So I think that he was like saying, well, if you get with this person, that's what they're going to want. But the hurtful thing was when he said that, and at first, that's what I thought. And, if anybody's ever heard my story, when we separated, once I got out there, I was out there. I was bad. And it's not anything that I'm proud of, but it was playing in my head, well, if that's what they want, okay, let's see. And it was just a time that, again, it was nobody cared how I felt. So I didn't care how anybody else felt either. And I was just going through a really, really rough spot until I couldn't go through that spot no more. And I asked God to please help me. I was like, I knew who God was, and I knew that he was forgiving and that he could do anything. And I needed this hurt to be lifted so that I can move forward and be a good mom for my kids and a good wife to whoever he put back in my life. But I asked specifically, I need a husband. I need someone that is after your own heart, that is going to love me, for me, not for my body, or not for anything that I can do other than be what you want me to be for them. And when all this cleared up, and after those 5 years, and we was at church on a Sunday, and that's when I looked at him after we took communion, and I said, you know what? It don't hurt no more. I forgive you. And I did then forgive him completely. But words that you don't forget, when you are in those moments, sometimes they come back and you hear them. And I didn't even know that I was still hearing it until the other day, when I realized, why are you angry? All you gotta do is
right.
But that was that thing. All they want you for is your body. So when he would be always groping and reaching for me, it's like I didn't even know that I was still hearing it, but that's what I was hearing. All I want, your body. And he had said it to me. He said, all you think I want is sex all the time, that's not it. I just be wanting to be intimate with you. I just want to be with you. And then I'm like, if you touch my hip, you want some sex. If you touch my arm, you want some sex. You looking into my eyes, you want some sex. You always just want some sex. And that's just all I heard all the time. All I want is your body. Am I going to continue to hear that? You know what? I'm going to pray. And that's all I can do. It's for God to remove that wall, because I don't want that wall there anymore. And that's the thing. When you come to the realization that you don't want those hurts and those pains, you pray them away. You pray to God and you ask God to remove that. He took so much hurt away from me. This little thing right here, I do not doubt he can take it too. He will take it, because I don't want that anymore. I did not know that I was holding on to it before, but now that I am aware that I was still holding on to some part of that past hurt, I know how to get rid of it. I know how to be able to move past it and how to let it go. On my knees, in my word, and pushing myself further towards my husband in those moments when I feel like, no, back up. That's when I'm going to push myself further towards him and say, baby, come on over here. Give me some of that. Come on, let's have these intimate moments. And yeah, at first it's going to be about sex. Come on, we going to get this wall. We knocking this wall.
We just can't touch or hug.
We can touch, baby. We can hug.
You're just trying to take me.
But my whole thing is that I had to decide in my head, I'm finna knock that wall down. It's finna be gone. If we felt like we had a great marriage before, and it's not just about the sex, but for those intimate moments where I can lay my head on his lap or lay my head in his shoulder or just touch him, rub him, whatever. These things make him happy. They make me happy too. And I can allow myself to be happy and do them with him all the time. That's it. That's it. It's going to be fixed, girl. Don't worry about it.
And Tanetta just said, just plain facts of life. And she's laughing at us. So we funny. But
funny, but
it's
serious.
It is serious. And I know we can joke with some of this stuff, but like I said, there are couples, a lot of people out there who are watching this live right now or watching on replay, and they've either experienced or they're in the middle of it right now.
Yeah.
And they're like, wow, I did not know that, I could get past this or get over this. It's not easy.
It's not easy.
It's not easy.
It's not.
Because it's extremely hard to get over trauma. Because trauma is a hard, terrible thing. Deep wounds. And like she said, when it came to intimacy, she had a half wall up. But me, because I was the cause of the trauma, I just moved on. I'm like, okay, I'm done. I've been forgiven. I'm good.
But you know what? When you say that, I'm listening to you when you say that. But it wasn't that you just moved on. You have to stop and think back to what you went through before when you said you prayed and God told you finna go through some stuff.
Yeah.
You had to endure a lot of really mean, hateful me at the time. Because when we first got back together, yeah, I was like, nope, won't pay him back. But, God saw fit to soften my heart and get me right.
Right.
But he did allow me to punish you a little bit.
Really? You did. You put me through hell. And I don't know too many men who would have put up. They were like, I ain't finna put up with this on my.
Yeah, I don't either. Yeah.
But it just goes to show that
that was horrible. That was funny though.
That you gotta endure some things to get what you want. Everything that God puts in your life and says that this is yours, you got to stand firm and know that it's gonna become a test, and you gotta survive the test. Everything's not gonna be easy. Marriage is not easy.
Endure the process. And have faith that if God said that this is going to be yours, stand strong and endure. Stand on his word. This is going to be yours. He didn't say it was going to be easy, but he said this is yours. So if he say this is yours, stand on what he's telling you and work towards it. If you think you're just going to sit there and cross your legs and wait for everything to be dropped in your lap,
it ain't going to happen.
It don't happen like that. Nothing happens like that.
You got to put the work in.
Nothing happens like that. I mean, some things might. But the things that that's worth it, and when you're going to be able to live through and have a testimony from it, what's the testimony if you ain't been through nothing and you just sat there and God said, here you go, bloop, 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 and just threw it all in your lap?
People expect that.
It don't work like that.
And
who you want to attest to how good God is and the things that he can do in your life if everything is just handed to you on a silver platter?
When we got back together from my infidelities, I didn't expect everything to be all peaches and cream when we got back together. Did I want it to be? In the back of my mind, yes, I did. But I knew it was going to be difficult. I didn't know how difficult. I just knew that there were going to be some times, and my wife, she shared, the trauma that I caused, and there's a bit of trauma there for myself as well. Because, she briefly touched on, how, because of what I did and what I said, it caused a reaction in her. And I struggle with that part of her life as well, because I played so much of a part in that. And it bothers me sometimes it's like a torment, because I could be looking at my wife, and then all of a sudden, I just had
Don't do it.
Don't do what? Don't do what? Don't do what?
Nothing. That you could be looking at your wife. Go ahead, you can go.
And just be thinking, dang man, because of me, some other man was touching my wife like this, or some other man was kissing my wife like this, or some other man was doing this.
Okay, that's enough of what some other man was doing.
And I struggle with I struggle with that sometimes, but I don't let that stop me. I don't let that be the be all the end all, because I know that I caused it, and because I caused it, I had to deal with it, and it took a level of forgiveness on my own part to forgive myself.
And to forgive me.
And to forgive you. But it was more so, but even though I did have to forgive you, but I had to forgive myself.
You did. And that's the thing too. A lot of people go out and they make mistakes and they do things that they regret. And they say they are sorry, and the thing that they fail to do is forgive themselves for the mistakes that they made. Everybody makes mistakes. But if you cannot even forgive yourself, you got to forgive yourself.
Yeah.
Because if you don't, then you will not move past it. The thing with me is, I didn't. Okay. This is not funny, but it's not funny, but it is when I think about it. It's not funny. I didn't have to deal with the whole thing of trying to forgive myself for what I did. I did what I did. And I had to take blame for my part in it. That was probably the hardest thing. I did play a part in it. But when it came to me forgiving myself, only thing that I could, for so many years, all I could think was, well, it wasn't my fault. What I did was because of you. Everything that happened to me while we were separated is because of you. And I would throw the blame on him for everything.
And a lot of people do that.
For everything.
They blame the spouse, but she had to take ownership of
I
of
had
her
to
part
take
in it as well.
ownership of my part in not only what happened after we were separated, but in the things that caused our separation. Because I've told you plenty of times before, I was mean, I was bossy, I would hit. I didn't curse.
But that's still no reason the cause of infidelity.
Absolutely. Well, it's not. Because people are going to do what people are going to do. You just have to know where you made your commitment and be able to stand up and stay with that, regardless of how you might be feeling. Because most of the times, if you just stop and think about what you're doing first, you won't do it. Because that was one of the things that I told him, that when opportunity presented itself to me before he ever did anything, I had the opportunity. I was like, oh, he's so cute, or whatever. And then I was like, I got a good man at home. I'm not finna hurt him like that. And that's what I thought before I did anything. And it prevented me from doing anything. And that's why I asked him. I said, didn't you think about that first? No, he didn't. Wow, I just want to punch you right now.
Don't punch me.
I'm not, but it's just like, but you have to think about these things. Tired. This conversation making me tired.
It's making you tired.
Yeah.
No. Tanetta says these are words that definitely need to be shared, because we all go through, and it's funny because we can relate to a lot of this. Love it. Thanks for sharing.
You are so welcome. And that's the thing too. We all go through it. Who are you going to share your story with in your journey and show them that marriages can still be strong after we do things that we ain't got no business doing?
Yeah, because like I say, everybody always look at us and look at our relationship. Oh, y'all have such a wonderful marriage.
Such a good marriage.
Oh, y'all
such
so
a good couple.
We
are.
But I honestly get tired of hearing that.
I don't get tired of hearing.
listen,
They be like, relationship goals. I be like,
no.
You don't want to go through what we've been through.
No.
To get to this type of relationship that we have. No. Because a lot of times people will see us having a little dispute in public or whatever. We don't get loud on each other, and we do not ever we don't curse anyway, but we don't say ugly things to each other anymore because we know what that can cause. But what we do is we always express ourselves, but I always think this is my husband. I'm not going to disrespect him in front of nobody. And I'm not
disrespecting my wife in front of anybody. We don't get down like that.
And I don't let nobody else disrespect my man. Nobody.
So,
but the thing is that when we're having our little disputes, it's okay to have disagreements.
Yeah, you're two people with two opinions.
Right, and there's a way to have those disagreements. And we have learned over the years, you go ahead and say what you got to say, but you say it in a decent way. You don't say nothing that you can't take back or something that's going to cut like a knife. You say, but you can still say what you got to say. And at the end of the day, you always keep your communication open. If I say something to him or if I give him a certain look that he be like, no, she did not look at me like that. I always know how it does not hurt to say, babe, I was wrong for doing this. I apologize. You have to apologize for some things. And that's why I had to apologize to him after I got me some Sunday. I had to say, babe, thank you. I am sorry for acting like I've been acting all day long. Why are you laughing like that? I did apologize.
Okay.
And I said, thank you.
I'm sorry. It was funny.
I said, thank you. I'm sorry. All right.
Okay, yeah.
I'm done. Our very serious conversation just got silly.
It didn't get silly, but it's just funny.
Mm-hmm.
But listen, honestly, babe, we've been on for almost an hour.
No.
Yes.
Oh, I am so sorry. I want
to thank everybody who has watched on Instagram and Facebook. Thank you guys so much for actually tuning in and listening. Because this was a really raw conversation that started yesterday between my wife and I. And we both of us, we always ask, hey, what we're gonna kind of talk about when we go on live on Tuesday. And hands down, both of us at the same time, we said, well, why don't we
finish that conversation?
Finish the conversation that we started yesterday. And because so many people need to hear it, because y'all experience the same stuff as we do as well. And just know that if you guys just want to talk to us one-on-one, we are here for you. Just send us a message, send us an email, text messages, smoke signals, however you want to get our attention. And
just know this. Whatever it is that you have gone through, and if you just need somebody to talk to and to vent with, or maybe think that we might have been through it and need to know how we got past it, you can always message us. You can probably message myself or my husband. Please, men, message the husband. Ladies,
message my wife, please.
Yes, because other than that, if a man message me, I will be referring them to my husband so that they can talk.
And please keep everything clean.
Yeah.
We had to block somebody last week. So please keep it clean.
What you call them, internet trolls?
Yes, some of them.
It was a troll.
With that being said, guys, listen, we appreciate you guys for tuning in. We're getting ready to leave and bounce and go spend some quality time with one another.
Yeah.
We love y'all. Y'all be good. Thank you for your support again. We'll see you guys next Tuesday at 7 p.m. I can't wait to get to the next conversation next Tuesday.
If you have some suggestions.
Yeah. If you guys have any ideas or suggestions, stuff that you want us to talk about, just shoot us a message and we'll be glad to throw that in as well.
Yep.
Because once a year we always do a Ask Us Anything. And I think this past year, it was, man, you guys came through with like 30-some questions that we had.
I don't remember.
It was a lot of questions.
I don't remember.
But that was a fun show too. So and here it is in 2021. We'll do an Ask Us Anything coming up real soon. So we appreciate you guys. Y'all have a great evening. If you have any suggestions, just hit us back and we'll respond back and we'll add those into our shows. Amen?
Amen.
Love you guys. Y'all be good. Bye.